Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have an innovative solution possibly for those elevator lineups on cruise ships. You know how an elevator will show up and it's completely packed and you can't get in and then you have to wait for the next one, etc., etc. Carnival thinks they have that a solution for that. Also, speaking of Carnival, the Carnival Elation had to make an extra stop at Port Canaveral because, they don't have enough fresh water on board. They're having some issues there. We also have some news on the Celebrity Ascent that's launching this November and some changes that are going to happen to that ship. And some good news for those of you worried about cruise ships' impact on the environment coming from MSC Cruise Lines. So the first bit of news comes from the Carnival Elation, and they are having some issues with their freshwater system. They normally can take in salt water, it goes through the transition and it becomes fresh water, able to be drank and stuff like that. Well, they have an issue on board, which means they had to stop in Orlando and refill their freshwater tanks. No news yet if they'll have to do that again at another port, but it will affect their time coming up from their next stop in the Bahamas. They were supposed to arrive around 8 a.m. and now because of the detour, they will arrive around 11 a.m. So a little bit of an impact there, and if they don't get it fixed before the next cruise, you can expect some delays on the Carnival Elation going forward as well. Not terrific news, but stuff happens. Ships break down, especially the older ships. For those of you who are a little bit worried about the environment and the impact, and we're listening to the LNG fuel, we're trying to get more and more ships like that out there. Well, another thing that's out there that they're trying in more and more ports is shore energy, right? Turning off the ship's engines, plugging in the ship to operate in port. Well, MSC plans this year to have 15 more ports support shore power by the end of the year, which is really good news. I wish every cruise port out there will have shore power for every ship going out there, and then you don't have to listen to those people saying, turn off your engines in port, it's all dirt. Have you ever driven in the highways in some major cities across the country? It's not a whole lot of difference, folks. And also, Celebrity has brought out a few details on the new Celebrity Ascent, which is launching in November of this year out of Orlando, Port Canaveral. Well, they say that they're making slight changes, including the Blue Restaurant, which is their Aqua Class suites on Norwegian. They're saying they're going to have spots outdoors now in the new redesign of the Blue Restaurant. Other restaurants like the Cosmopolitan are also getting a redesign. You're going to have more of a champagne kind of feel and look to it. Not to mention the art gallery, the casino, and a lot more spacious staterooms, they're saying. Okay, I think it's basically the same size as the Beyond, but I'll take your word for it. But one of the most exciting things, of course, for me is they say they are having 3 brand new theater shows for the Ascent, which is good because it's very tiring when you go on the same cruise line and they have the same show on multiple ships. I've seen certain shows 30, 40 times now. I'm ready for new shows. So when I go on Celebrity, I like the shows that they have, but I'm looking for some brand new shows. And that's good news. I'm looking forward to seeing what that is because I'm on the Ascent on her inaugural 3- and 4-day sailings in November. Looking forward to that. Now, does Carnival have the elevator situation solved? Well, before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the new feature designs of elevators on cruise ships, to the ships breaking down, to ports of call, to the emissions, to new ships coming online like the Ascent. I'll be trying to cover it all here. I'll try and keep you as updated as possible, and I'll try and do it in a lighthearted manner so we don't get too dramatic on the channel. And I hope you'll join us by hitting that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out, and I really do appreciate it. Okay, well, John Heald recently showed off on one of the Carnival ships the new smart elevators that they have, and they're planning to install on more. Now, the way it traditionally works is you stand in line, you press the button, and sometimes, for instance, you're on deck 7 after a theater show lets out and people can come out on deck 6. Well, they go to the elevators, you go to the elevators, they're on deck 6, you're going up to 16. The people on deck 6, the doors open and they're completely packed, you can't get in. Not only is it slow for you because you have to wait for more elevators, but the people actually on the elevator have to wait because the doors are opening and closing on multiple floors and nobody's getting out or in. So it delays the elevators even more. Well, Carnival says they have this now solution. They have smart elevators where, say it's you and a party member and you go to the elevator and you're on deck 7 and you're going to deck 14. You walk up and you will press deck 14 twice, indicating the number of people in your party. So if you're 3 people, you hit it 3 times. This lets the elevator know you're going from that floor to that floor with 3 people. And so the elevator, if the elevator is full, will not stop at your floor. They'll just keep going, which will speed up the elevators getting back and forth to the, not opening on every floor. And it also says that once you get into the elevator, you don't have to press a button. You don't have, can somebody press 15 please when you're in the back of the elevator? Because the elevator already knows what floor you're going and already knows how many people are supposed to get off there. So it will automatically stop at that floor. And when it's full, it will not stop until people start exiting. What they set as the limit for full is a different story. Because some of those elevators, they say, oh, we can hold 12 and people squeeze 40 people into them. And I don't know if they're taking scooters and wheelchairs into account, because they take up more space than one person. Some scooters take up 3 or 4 people's spots, right? So I don't know if they have taken that into consideration when designing these elevators, but it could be a step in the right direction. For instance, I was on the Regal Princess, I was on deck 15, and the buffet is on deck 16. So when I was going down to deck 5, I hit the elevator button, and I'd see the elevator go up to 16, and I'm looking at the number, and then it goes 15, 14, 13, 12. It doesn't stop. Multiple times, multiple elevators did that, until finally an elevator came from lower deck up to 15 and stopped, and then came down. It wasn't just one time, it was multiple times. So I don't know how the system was working on that ship, but it was a little annoying to see an elevator go 1 floor above me and then not stop on the way down. And it was like in the middle of the day or early morning, or it was not like a peak time when there should be 500 people trying to get in the elevators from the buffet. I don't understand what the issue was, but hey, smart elevators, less lineups. If people use them correctly, he says, these will work beautifully. There's a key word. If people use them correctly. Because there's always that one, right? Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.